I think this is how y'all want me to feel about me being a $75,000 lawsuit that I'm gonna win. You should have known better than to think I would leave.
So what would you do? Let's say you're a professor in your college town, and one cold November day in 2022, there's a horrible quadruple murder of young college students that attend your same university. But soon after, some random woman on TikTok starts publishing your full name, your full photos, and claims you were the one who put the hit out on the 4 students.
I already posted this on my website and on my backup page, but anyway, the night of the murders, Rebecca Scofield was trying to get in touch with Jack DeCour. She was having anxiety and control issues because he was not communicating with her. Before he committed the murders, he stole Murphy back. He cared more about Murphy than he did the money. He just felt like money, like the most important thing was Murphy to him. So anyway, so he spent some time in introspection before he committed the crimes to make sure it was something that he wanted to do. Again, getting Murphy back brought emotional satisfaction and fulfillment to him. So the rest of the stuff, he had to think if he really wanted to do it. So he started thinking about what his life was like in his glory days when he was winning, when he was playing tennis and he was winning. And he wondered if life could ever be that good again. And again, with this experience with Rebecca Scofield, she told him that it could be possible for him to play again and for him to win again. So he just sat and thought about it for a while, and he was not answering Rebecca Scofield. She thought he wasn't committing the crimes, so she panics. She goes back to the drawing board and she tries to figure out a solution to the problem. When she went back to the drawing board, she thought, who can I call? She felt like she had multiple options, and one of those options she felt was Brian Kohlberger. She contacts Brian Kohlberger, again, using her book Creative Arts app, sends him a link and sends a coded message as if she needed his expertise, like he was aficionado, and she needed his expertise in the conclusion of it or whatever. So he opens it up and he's reading the messages and he's like, what do you want? Speak directly, speak clear. What do you want? What do you need me to do? And she tells him what to do without telling him who she was. He wanted to know who she was, but she did not tell him who she was. She just said what he would receive if he was to go commit the murders. And in the book, it says there will be a girl, and she's describing who he needs to go and murder. So he goes to, but she also tells him not to assume anything when he gets there because Jack DeCour will be there or potentially be there. So when he gets there, Jack DeCour is already committing the crimes. He's not answering Rebecca Scofield because he's literally busy committing the murders. So she was making a mountain out of a molehill for nothing and implemented another solution to a problem that wasn't there. And therefore then they have Kohlberger, who now knows Jack DeCour committed the murders. So Jack DeCour did not want a partner, did not want to share his whatever reward he was going to get for it. So Kohlberger leaves, tells them to forgive each other, leaves. And Jack DeCour continues the crimes as planned. But then after that, they realized they had the issue of Kohlberger. He knows what they did. And so that's why Kohlberger eventually got sent off to the police.
You start getting threats, your anxiety skyrockets through the roof, and the TikToker starts getting thousands of followers and thousands of views. So she makes more than 100 videos, some of them describing elaborate plots of why you chose to have these 4 innocent students killed.
Also, stop saying that just because Jack DeCour wasn't arrested on the 23rd, that means I lack credibility. No, that doesn't mean that. It means that I was irresponsible in posting a date in which the police were going to be arresting a person who was guilty or accused, let's just say that, of a quadruple homicide. Perhaps they're not supposed to know the police is on the way. So I take responsibility for that, but it's going to happen. Like, I have physical evidence against Rebecca Scofield that validates everything that I've said about her, but I can't speak on it now because it has to wait for court. So hopefully court doesn't take too long. Anyway, I need to get back to the meat and potatoes, which is what happened that night and things like that, instead of talking about this lawsuit with Rebecca, because I'll let that play out in court and the news media.
But it's all lies, and her stories are all over the place. She claims you were having an affair with one of the students, one of the victims. She tells TikTok viewers that you called one of the victim's ex-boyfriends to make the hit. Meanwhile, you start calling on lawyers to get yourself some help. You send her a cease and desist, but she doesn't stop. She continues and persists with more elaborate lies. So finally, you sue. You sue her with a $1.9 million defamation lawsuit, hoping it would put the fear of God in her and make her apologize. You want her to take the videos down and just stop. Instead, she starts trying to figure out the legal process herself and begins writing these elaborate Tyler Perry type motions to the court that blame you even more for the crime. But your less than $87,000 per year salary probably can't bear the weight of fighting this rando who won't give up her legal fight. So this is the plight of Rebecca Scofield. She's an assistant professor of American history at the University of Idaho. And in the United States District Court for the District of Idaho, Rebecca Scofield is the plaintiff. Ashley Gilliard is the defendant. She's the TikToker. And what's ironic about this whole thing is Ashley was almost correct when she initially claimed she got from the spirit it was a teacher of sorts who would be arrested for the Idaho 4 crime. Brian Koberger was a teaching assistant at Washington State University.
Hi, my name is Brian. Would you be able to give me a haircut tomorrow by any chance?
He was arrested after Ashley's initial claims that a teacher would be involved. Ashley would have been golden if she had just stopped at her initial claims. A teacher was involved. Instead, Ashley says she heard the word history along with teacher. So she went scrolling down the U of I History Department website and found Rebecca, who serves as the chair of the History Department. Ashley also started blaming Jack DeCour. He's the ex-boyfriend of victim Kaylee Gonzalez. And he has a case if he ever wanted to file one against this TikToker too, because she's named him as some sort of guilty party in her videos.
But y'all know what? It's light at the end of the tunnel because this is showing a pattern of behavior. So Rebecca Scofield and her team wanted to serve me. They wanted to do something to harm me, to silence me, right? So they contact my ex, so offers him money so that he can do something to betray me for money. Like I said, this lady uses her resources. Are y'all not seeing the pattern? When she wanted something bad, when she wanted to silence Kaylee, she wanted something bad to happen to her, she contacted her ex and offered him money so that he could sacrifice her for his financial gain and for his gain of his career. Are we not seeing a pattern of behavior here? It's like obvious at this point. She wanted to silence me. She contacts my ex for money so that he could betray me. She wanted to silence Kaylee. She contacts her ex so he can betray her. Past behavior predicts future behavior.
Well, now, I'm grateful that the good professor has taken the advice of YouTube lawyers like Peg Leg Finance, who urged her to start a GoFundMe. Thus far, last time I've checked, Rebecca has raised about $4,000 out of her $100,000 goal. The GoFundMe was created and it describes Scofield going through these last 6 months of relentlessly and being persistently targeted by a TikTok user who's been making false claims linking Rebecca to the November murders of the 4 Idaho students.
About me providing evidence to prove that Rebecca Scofield planned, initiated, executed, and ordered the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students, Part 2. It seems to be an impossible task set before me. They're asking me to provide evidence when I don't have the infrastructure to seek the evidence, even if I know that it's there. However, I now have a legal basis to do so and can use that as a means to gather those resources. However, to be asking me for evidence, that's just ludicrous to me. That's just like asking anybody else in the tip line providing the tips that they requested for evidence of their tip. However, with God, with Christ, all things are possible. So we shall see where this goes. I already know. So you shall see.
Her case, like many others, it says, shows how easily and quickly anyone can become the target of online abuse from the spread of unfounded accusations. So in November 2022, Rebecca's attorneys sent 2 cease and desist letters in attempts to protect Dr. Scofield and her husband and their 2 young children from being harmed, but the TikTok user just went ahead and mocked these attempts. So in December 2022, Dr. Scofield filed a federal defamation lawsuit to try and protect herself from these unwanted online attacks, but unfortunately, the lawsuit costs have outpaced the resources. It takes a lot of money to fight a lawsuit and these baseless claims, and the TikToker just keeps on. These online rumors can ruin innocent people's lives. It's caused emotional distress to Rebecca. It can cause a loss of reputation for people who believe it, and of course, financial damage. We need defamation lawsuits to protect people like Rebecca, ourselves, everyone, to protect our family. But if Rebecca doesn't have the money to fight, she might be forced to drop the lawsuit. She's a member of the U of I faculty, a beloved member of the Moscow community. Her goal is to just resolve the suit, end these false online statements as quickly as possible. Her GoFundMe says that any donation to help support her and her family would be deeply appreciated.
People have been asking me to provide evidence for the statements and allegations that Rebecca Scofield ordered, planned, initiated, and executed the murder of the 4 University of Idaho students. Although she did not do it with her own hands, like I said, she hired, with a promise to pay in different ways, Jack the Core. Now, people have been asking me for evidence, and I think that is the most ridiculous thing that I've heard. A psychic investigator, and Google it if you don't know what that is, job is to lead, to guide, to a higher understanding, to give clarity, and it is the law enforcement's job to assess the information that the psychic investigator gave them. They have the infrastructure, they have the resources to gather and the legal basis to request, subpoena, whatever evidence.
You can check the links below for the GoFundMe to see how much it's raised, hopefully to donate. I plan to donate. I get paid next week, so that's on my goals. You can see the articles if you need to know the backstory of the case. And you can also check out my previous videos on Ashley's crazy claims on TikTok.
Somebody asked me about Rebecca Scofield's alibi, part 2. Also, you have to pay attention to what someone doesn't say, just as much as you pay attention to what they do say. Rebecca Scofield said that her and her husband were not in town during the murders, that they were in Portland, Oregon. She said she checked out of the hotel they were staying in November 13th, and that they had a 5-hour drive back. Now, what it doesn't say is, what time did she get to Portland, Oregon? How did she get to Portland, Oregon? Also, what was her true motive in going to Portland, Oregon in the wee hours of the morning and then coming back the same day? A 5-hour drive. Also, there is the question of whether or not her husband is willing, after he hears everything, to testify in court on her behalf to confirm her alibi. And what parts will he confirm?
So I did take steps to verify this was really from Rebecca Scofield. You know, random people can set up GoFundMes. And so when I was emailed the information, I asked actually for like a short video blurb just to make sure this GoFundMe is legit. Rebecca Scofield actually emailed me her reply, and she even copied her lawyer. So she's confirming this really is her. I saw it definitely says Rebecca Scofield as beneficiary. I wanted her to send me a quick video blurb with her face, but I know in her reply she says she is limited from talking about the case, but she did copy her lawyer on the email to confirm, yes, this truly is me. I believe plenty of people will want to get on board, like the YouTuber Pegleg Finance urged her to start this GoFundMe to help her fight this good fight. She makes less than $90,000 per year. She wrote to me, "Hi Paula, thank you so much for your coverage of our case. We really appreciate your perspective and thoughts. My good friend, Stephanie Ramirez, has set up the GoFundMe for us. Since I can't really speak a lot about the case while it is in litigation, reason, I thought I would have my lawyer, Wendy Olson, confirm for you that this is legitimate. I'm glad you're taking precautions to make sure the funds are genuinely helping us out. Please just let me know if you have any additional concerns. Thanks so much, Rebecca Scofield.
Hey, I was banned from posting and commenting for a few days, which is why I haven't posted any videos on this page. But someone commented and asked me how I felt about Rebecca Scofield's alibi that she was not in Idaho during the murders. For the life of me, I don't understand why y'all believe anything this lady say, but I get giving people the benefit of the doubt. I'm 100% convinced of everything that I've alleged. When I make mistakes, if you look back at my videos and you see Twitch, within 12 hours in one video, I deleted everything that I said, retracted my statements, and said I need to look into that further before I post anything else about him. I haven't posted anything because I haven't had the time to investigate, and I've left that alone. I've done over 100 videos regarding this case. I am convinced that what I'm saying is true, so I don't believe her.
So that's it. I plan to give again and help Rebecca. I hope a lot of people do. I want to help her fight this good fight through the legal system. Hopefully, if she wins, it will serve as a big reminder to people like Ashley and everyone. None of us can jump online and just spread vicious lies about one another. Just baseless ones that aren't based in any kind of fact whatsoever. It's more like just fan fiction.
Also, the reason why Jack DeCour didn't complete the new job Rebecca Scofield gave him, which is to hurt me, is because he feels like his time is limited. He knows that he's going to be arrested. Why would he spend his time doing that instead of spending time with his family and Murphy? He's literally spending time with Murphy and his family. He feels like Rebecca Scofield is wasting his time. So he's procrastinating because why waste time on me?
Let's close with Matthew 5:43 through 45. You have heard that it was said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, that you may be children of your Father in heaven. He causes his sun to rise on the evil and the good, and sends rain on the righteous and the unrighteous. That's a good prayer for people who speak ill of us or speak ill of another person, especially when it's all lies. I just can't get over that this professor was just randomly targeted, and instead of actually humbling herself and truly serving the Lord that she preaches or the scripture that she throws in her videos, we have to act it out too. It's not just about speaking words of God. We have to do unto others as we want them to do unto us.
I haven't done readings on certain agencies and entities because that's kind of crossing the line, but just know, I'm not the only one who suspect Rebecca Scofield. They want both of them. Before I lay down for a nap, all I gotta say is, Merry Christmas. I think this is how y'all want me to feel about amazing at $75,000 lawsuit that I'm gonna win. Oh my God. Killer Rebecca is suing me. I've seen people in the comments suggest that my friends and family members contact me, and I'm warning y'all, if anybody contact me buying into the BS online from fake pages that I'm crazy, I'm gonna block you in real life, and I'm never gonna unblock you.
So would Ashley want someone making up lies, random lies about her? Of course not. None of us would. There's no basis in fact. I want Rebecca to continue with this lawsuit so it can be a big signal to people to know when they've crossed the line of defamation. It's bad enough these U of I 4 students lost their lives so horribly, and to imagine someone going on to just blame a random professor who had absolutely nothing to do with the crime, and Moscow Police Department has cleared her in the public for Ashley to continue to dig in her heels and fight this fight and use up all this money. It's just really unfair. So stay tuned. We'll see what happens with this case.
You should have known better than to think I would leave. You should have known better than to doubt Ashley. It don't matter if I'm up, matter if I'm down. either way, I'm gonna be around. You should've known that I would stay by your side. You should've known your girl was gonna ride or die. And it just don't matter if you're rich or poor, out or in, doing 5 to 10. You should've known better. I would've blew that if I could sing, but y'all should've known better. TikTok had me banned. Regarding the negative commenters, this include the biased news media misquoting me, saying lies, and trying to paint me in a negative light. Personally, I'm not giving them any more of my energy or attention. It used to be fun because it was fresh, and I laughed at it. Didn't take it too seriously. But they keep saying the same thing because they lack creativity. They lack spirit. So they don't have a creative mind to say something different. So I'm bored with them. Therefore, I won't be responding. But if you want to respond to them, so be it. I just don't think they're worthy of my energy or yours. Just think about it. These people wait till I post just to say the same thing over and over. It's demonic. And it should be embarrassing. That's why a lot of them have fake pages. They're embarrassed to do it on their own page.